I ain't gonna get back.
You gotta walk. Gilbert Bergen. All right, so this is land. This is land, about 50 acres of land. What? What? Yeah, the rock. Yeah, I know. Gilbert Bergen. Friend, mentor, guide, dog trainer. All right. So this Connecticut, this is in Long Island, this estate. Yeah, come on, these are the houses. This estate was owned.
That's the house.
Yeah, this is one of them. There's many of them.
That big.
Right. I'm going to show you. You got to keep walking though. I hope y'all can see it, y'all. I'm trying to film it as much as I can. Okay. Come over here. Over here. You can rest. All right, so, Connecticut River. Welcome to the Connecticut River State Preserve. All right, so this is the house, the old annex, 1878. This estate, I believe, is like 15 acres. And there are like four, I want to say 1, 2, 3. There's like 4 huge homes, 4 to 5 huge homes. Huh, mommy, just sit there. I'm going to come around. There's a house toward the back. I just want you to see this, and I walked this before. I literally walked this estate, and let me just say, this thing is huge. I think it's 50 acres. We're gonna read about it. There's a lot of lush, and they have a I forgot what kind of a trout reserve where they are making trout. A fish, they have like a whole little thing, y'all, out there where with the fish. Come on, lady. Cause I'm about to go read the thing that's over here. The thing that's over here. So again, this is one of the main houses. All right, so this is the Murray homestead, y'all. This belongs to Murray, this homestead. So I'm gonna flip the screen so y'all can get like a full view. And I'm gonna read this. All right, so the Connecticut River Basin is 50,000 acres of surrounding land was purchased from now I'm sorry what I'm about to do. I'm about to wreck this name because I don't know how to say it. So it's purchased from the Set-Tugoo people. All right, these Indian people by William Nicol of Islip. His name is Grange in 1697, right? William Nicol of Islip Grange in 1697 purchased this land, allegedly, right? And it says Nicol issued a deed which allowed the Sitagu, the Indians, to continue to inhabit their former lands in 1702. In the decades afterward, many native people intermarried with people of African and European descents. Now, y'all, I love what Kamarios dodged the hijack. There wasn't no Africans brought here. We already know that information. They just lying. And I'm going to tell you why they say he was African. We're going to read it down at the end. Native people intermarry, okay. Descendants of other native peoples of Long Island. Okay, so they just letting you know that these American Indians intermarried with other American Indians and European descendants and other brown-skinned foreigners who came to America. All right, and it says records show that some of their descendants live near and around the Connecticut River up to the 20th century. Some of them were members of Murray's family. So Murray himself, right, is an American Indian. John Murray was born August 17th, 1762. He was the eldest son, patriarch, who had a long-lasting association with the tavern, river grounds built and leased by Eliphalet, Sindicor, I don't know how to say these people's names, sorry y'all, Snedicor, from the Nicholas family. John worked from Eliphalet as a skilled hunter and guide until he was 70 years old, right? And if he was he was described by visitors to Sindicor Tavern as a black man, okay? Now this is supposed to be Murray. They got him here as a white man, but it clearly says that he is a black man. And how they try to tell you that, he was the Indians mixed in with Africans and that's why they look black. No, they didn't. They were just black folk. And we already know that if you know history. And so anyway, here we go. So they say he was described by visitors to Snedicor Tavern as a black man in appearance, right? So they telling you that's how he looked. He and his wife Hannah lived near the tavern, which eventually became Southside Sportsman's Club, right? And they're talking about that. This is what he owned. This was his property, his whole family's property. This is his family's 50-acre estate. All these homes and all of this belong to this man and his family. This black man who owned all this. Right. So, yes. Right. And it said, John had two sons. Yep, the eldest, Richard, was born 1798, and his second, Stephen, was born in 1815. Hold on. Give me a few minutes. 20 years later, records show that Hannah Murray died. John eventually remarried. He and his second wife, Betsy, had daughter Esther. John lived until 1849, and he was survived by his wife and two sons, daughter and grandchild. Richard and Stephen continued the family tradition of working at the tavern as guides. Both men had houses to the east of the grist mill. So the mill is right here, if you don't know. The mill is right here. I'll show you a better picture of the mill. I'll show you a better. I'll even show you the house that's behind. Yeah, so the house that they're referring to, I'm gonna go up to, that's one of the son's houses. All right, so anyway, sorry if I'm like making y'all sick a little bit, but I'm trying to get the information. Y'all could read it for yourself. That's why I'm trying to give you, like, so you could just read it for yourself. All right, lieutenant at the tavern. But right here, it lets you know that the Murray family, right? Let's see if I can see what this says. Married John, second wife Betsy, had a daughter Esther, right? All right, the Murray name, John Murray. I wanted to read something about the Murray's name. Second in command, Stephen Murray. Hold on. Stephen continued traditional work in the tavern, both man houses. Well, sports. O.B. Snedeker considered Stephen Murray his second in command of the town and lieutenant business matter related between two men. Blah, 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 guys. Respected patron, Richardson, William known. Became a sportsman, went property, had 3 generations of the Murrays as guides. Stephen Murray was the last Sentinel to live. Now that's a lie. They did try to tell you he was the last of his kind to live. Sentinel to live. He the last. So they're letting you know Murray is an Indian, right? His son Stephen is Indian. That would make him. If he's a Sentinel, okay? Stephen Murray was the last Sentinel to live. So that means that his father, which is John Murray, would be a Sentinel too, right? Or however you say that. To live in Connecticut River and died March 1878. His surviving daughter, Elizabeth Sarah, both married, continue living in Long Island. Stephanie, nephew Ike, Lynn. The Murray family continued to work in South. All right, there was something that I wanted. All right, here it is right here. The name Murray or Murray appears in Islip Town's records going back to the first people of this land. So they letting you know that the first people of this land, the name Murray goes back to the first people in Long Island. They were the American Indians, right? The Murrays that are known from the historical records were a mixed race family of African and Native American descent of the Sentinel people who first settled in the land around Connecticut River. Now make it make sense, right? Because this was in the 1600s, right? And they're telling you that they are mixed with African. Where is your historical facts to substantiate the Africans? Where do you have a manifest that will show you that there was a mixture of African and American Indian, right? They don't have anything, so that lets you know they're just making it up. Because in appearance, they let you know that in appearance, that Murray, right, that the visitors to the tavern, right, he was described, right? Murray was described by visitors to Snedeker's Tavern as a black man in appearance. He and his wife Hannah. Biographic Snedeker, Nichols. John worked, right? John Murray. He worked until he was 70 and was described as a black man. And then they let you know in the end over here that his son, right, Stephen Murray, was a Sentinel, or however you say that, Indian. All right, so this should let you know who owned this 50 acres of land. This belonged to the Sentinel Indians. This was the property of the Murray, of John Murray and his sons, who were black people. They owned all this land, all these homes and all these houses. It was a homestead where their children grew up. All right. So all this, including that lake back there. Sorry if I'm down, y'all. And this is the mill that they were talking about, and the sons that lived east of this mill. And I'll show you the house, because this right here is the tavern. This big one right here is the sport tavern. The house is huge. Right.
It's big enough to be a school.
Right. It was a sports tavern, yeah. Sorry, y'all. Yes, this was in the 1600, baby girl. So I tell you, you can't believe everything you hear in history. Right. It's all right. You could park. Look at the old technologies that they had back in the day. Look at this. Look at this right here. Talking about some black people ain't smart. Look at this. This belongs to the mill. Look at this. The irrigation system. The river constantly flows, right? And sustained by the water cycle. Then they show you a white Indian, false information. Before Europeans arrived, the river supplied food and water for natives. Renewable energy, which means these people had electricity. 1686. Look at this. Old technology. Here's the mill. There go the son, one of the son's houses. It's beautiful out here. And if you go further back, it goes back. They have a whole little fish reserve back there where you could get trout. Like a whole breeding trout, and people come out here and go fishing. A lot of birds step on bird poop. But nobody lives in them because once they got taxed out of the property, they had to sell a lot of the stuff. Nope. Because they're not safe. They're not safe inside fully. No. At least I don't know if they are or they not, girl. They don't let you in, I know that. I don't know. Nobody lives in them. All right, they vacant as we know. At least we were able to, the windows open, but all the furniture that was in it is taken out of it. The lady told me down in the museum that they sold a lot of the furniture. So this estate is huge, y'all. This estate, I mean, it goes back beyond the trees. I took a walk around it. It's huge. I'm sorry if I ain't giving you, it's just so big that, girl, y'all, I can't. I could try to give you, this is one of the other brothers' houses as well, and this is the side of the tavern. House is huge. Okay, this is how black people was living in the 1600s, y'all. So-called Negro. You're a real American Indian. Okay? All right. I hope I gave y'all a nice little tour. This is Kendra with True West TV. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay up. Stay blessed. Put God first above all else. Peace out. Bye for now.